It's called linear regression, okay? Linear regression meaning that we will use technology to come up with your line of best fit. I believe this is on page 10. Someone confirm that for me? Yes, okay, thank you. So go to page 10. Go ahead and power up your Chromebook for me and go to Desmos.com, please. I'm going to take today pretty slow because I do want you to know this really well. Okay. And it's also being recorded. So in the case that when you're working on tonight's homework and you don't understand, you can always go back and look at it. Or watch it again. So go ahead and power up Desmos.com. So as you can see in your notes packet, can you see that I type up all the steps for us already? So we can read the steps and do it as well. And I'm also going to come around and provide support. Okay. So it says use the same data scenario as your classwork. The refresher right there. You already have that data on your refresher. If you don't, it's also in your notes packet. They're exactly the same data set. Can you guys see it? Okay. So power up your Desmos.com or graphing calculator. Okay. And we are going to find the linear regression equation for your data. So here we go. Desmos.com. Can you go to Desmos.com? What's the next after Desmos.com? According to your notes outline, what do we press to insert our table on Desmos.com? Can you guys all go to Desmos.com right now? Start graphing. You can also do on the graphic, but go ahead. Desmos is usually a little bit easier, so go ahead. Okay, anybody not on Desmos right now that I need? And then start graphing. Yeah, hit start graphing. If you're on Desmos.com, hit graphing. Okay, what is the first thing we press or hit once we're on Desmos.com? The plus sign. Everyone hit the plus sign if you're not already there. According to your notes. Hit the plus sign. Where do we go after we hit the plus sign? Yeah. Okay. Once you hit the plus sign, can you see that there's an X1 and Y1? Okay. Go to your table. Perfect. Hit plus sign table. And then now enter in your data that's in your notes. The time set practicing. And scores, okay, your points earned. Anyone not here, so I can support you? So let me go to my Desmos. Now, if you have a Logan, are you okay with the TI following the instruction in your notes? Yeah. Okay. So first, you guys hit the plus sign, go to table. You should now enter in your data. Remember, all the steps are also on your note outline, so all you have to do is read it. So what's step number 1? Okay, what's step number 2? Good, enter in your data. How many pieces of information do we have, guys? Make sure you guys enter in that correctly. I will enter this into my data here as well. So 0, 0, 3, 3, 5, 7, and 7, 10, 12, 12. All right, guys. Data's in. I'm gonna enter all data, okay, on both sides. Now look at your X1 and Y1. Can you double check to make sure they match? That means both entries are ending in the same location. If the entries don't match, class, it's not going to run it. Okay. So entries are in. Okay. The entry in the data according to set number 2. What's set number 3? In the box below the data, type in Y subscript 1. Okay. So in the box below the data, type in Y subscript 1. Anybody know how to get the subscript? It's automatically. Very good. So Y subscript 1. Now, and then how do you get that wavy line thing? Where did that come from? What is it? Yeah, by number 1, okay? It's like that left button on number 1. We're trying to get the calculator, very good. We're trying to get the Desmos software to give us an exact equation. So if you do shift and then the left button, you're gonna get this wavy bar. Then type in, what else do we type in after Y subscript 1? According to your notes. A times X subscript 1. X subscript 1, does it come up by itself or automatically? Yes, okay. And then plus what? Plus B. So you type in A times X subscript 1. That will come up automatically. Anybody does not have the X come up by subscript? Raise your hand if you need help on the X subscript. If it doesn't come up, mine didn't come up, I have to force it. Anybody need help on that, please? Did yours come up all by itself? Okay. Mine didn't have to come up, but I did it anyway. Now, can you guys see that you have a line already drawn on Desmos, which is super awesome. You don't have to worry about finding it on your own. Okay. Now, according to your notes, okay, I can pinch mine in. Can you see all your dots as well? Okay. So according to the notes, what are you asked to do on number 1? It says use Desmos or graphing calculator to find the linear regression equation for your data, and then write the equation below. What do we write on that set number 1? On that question 1? Did the calculator give you the values so we can write it in there? No, calculator, I meant Desmos. What value did they give us? How do we know? Where do we find that? Where do we find those values so we can write it in ourselves? Okay, this is the part that I want you to pay attention. Can you guys see that this is y equals, technically, mx plus b? Instead of using m, what did Desmos use? A. Did they give you a value for A? Yeah. Yes, they did. Did they give you a value for B? Yes, they did. So guess what? All we got to do is look at Desmos and then do what? Write it in our notes packet. Okay. That's why Desmos is so awesome. It does everything for us. And now guess what? We all have the same equation. So our answer here on out should match exactly every single step of the way. So we are going to, let me get my pen out. In Desmos class, we use this bar, okay, this wavy bar. But in our packet, we don't use the wavy bar. We use y equals mx plus b. Known that our slope is the a value. So our answer for this one is y equals, what did Desmos give us for our slope? Give me all the decimals that Desmos gave us. Positive and negative? Positive what? 0.639 times x plus. And what did Desmos give us for our y-intercept? What was the y-intercept on Desmos? 8.36092. So is it negative or positive? It's positive. I'm just referring you guys with Desmos because I can't pull both screens at the same time. So guess what? Now our line of best fit, everyone has the same exact answer. Okay, there's no more variation if we use technology. Okay, now we can answer the rest. What is the slope of your linear regression? What do we write? That's right. Slope is 0.915639. Is that similar to the slope of your line of best fit to your homework? So take out the homework that we just went over. Look at your slope from your homework. What was the slope from the homework? Slope from homework was 1, I heard. Is that pretty close? Yeah. Yes, that's pretty darn close. Remember, we did the homework by hand before today because we didn't know how to do this. Well, you weren't taught yet. Some of you might have. But it's pretty darn close. On my key, I had 14/15, didn't I? That's right. So when you do by hand, we all vary a little bit, but it should be pretty near to each other. Now, number 3 said, what is the y-intercept of your linear regression from Desmos? So what's the y-intercept here? Yep, 8 point something. So y-int from here is 8.36392. Now, I want you to find the y-intercept on your homework. Yep. 0, not 3, like that. Thank you. Good eye. Okay. Now look at last night's homework. What was your y-intercept then? What was it? Whoa, 8.88. Pretty good. Okay? Pretty good for calculating the by hand. Okay? And remember, we talked about the answers can vary little by person. Okay? But that's pretty darn close, isn't it? Okay. Now, question 4. Use your linear regression equation to predict the number of points scored during the 3 games, okay? When a player has practiced for 30 hours. So what do we do here to find our score? What do we do?
Enter in a point where x is 30 and find the y value of that.
That's right. We are going to try to find y when x is 30 hours. Can we plug it into our equation, or can we do on Desmos? Can you see if Desmos, can you and your team see if Desmos allow you to find the answer right away? Is it possible? So on Desmos itself, would Desmos allow you to find when x equals to 30? Would it give you a y value? So look at, okay. So look at Desmos for me. Did you get an equation entering? Or was your line? You have to have your line, otherwise it won't. Okay, so right now you don't have an a sub 1, so go, there you go. So go over here, and then there's 30. There you go. Now go up to the line, and then press the mouse right there where it says 30 to see what the answer is. Okay. All right. So class on Desmos, it's awesome. Let me show you. Find, guys, the hours of practice, is that x or y? Hours of practice, is that x or y? X, isn't it? Okay. 30 on x. Find 30 on x for me. Isn't this dot right here? Okay, I'm gonna hold this down. Is this 99? Put your cursor on x equals to 30. Desmos should give you a set of coordinates. Can you see it? So that's how we've used Desmos to help us out. Okay. So again, move your cursor where x equals to 30. It gives you an order pair. Okay. What order pair did Desmos give you? 30 comma what?
37.67.
Yeah, so let me write that down here. So I'm going to get you guys to help me because I can't pull both screens at the same time on my computer. So when you put your cursor on x equals to 30, I'm going to write 30 comma, give me that y value. 37.63. Thank you so much. Okay. Now in a complete sentence, how many points did this person score? About 30 or 30, 37 or 38, right? Depending on how we round that. How should we round this? Round up or round down? Remember, if you're talking about sport, there's no right or wrong way. Does that make sense? So do you guys want to write 38 points that this person scored or 37? We just have to agree. 38 sounds better? Okay. So this person, for 30 hours of practice, okay, this person score 38 points. Okay. Now let's look back to last night's homework. What was our answer on last night by hand? 38.07? Wow. So, but guess what? Last night, pretty much all of us kind of had slightly different answer. But guess what? Now we all should have the same exact solution, right? Okay. Is your answer to number 4, here we go. Is your answer to number 4 similar to the answer you got for number 8? Explain. Which answer do you think it's more accurate and why? Okay. So answer from your worksheet was answer from last night's homework. Okay. One more time. What was the answer from last night's homework, hon? 38.06. Okay. Now, which one is more accurate? Desmos or when we were doing it by hand? Desmos. Someone tell me why, though. Why is Desmos more accurate? What's the reason, Owen?
It takes most of the human error out of the problem.
Right. Okay. You're right. Okay. Human error. Right. When you draw that line, could we really do it perfectly? Not really, right? We kind of tilted a little bit, whatever. But the computer usually is programmed to do a better job. So computer is always slightly better than our own self. Any questions on how to use a calculator or how to use Desmos? Give me a second. Now, tomorrow's quiz. There's an apps right now on Desmo. So for tomorrow's quiz class, you may use Desmo to find your line of best fit. Okay, so just so you are